overwhelming proof that God does not exist. So, there's so much of argument, so much of problems, so much affections that, proving the existence of God or whether God exists or does not exist and so forth. So, I want to analyze this from a purely objective perspective, including the spirituality fields in my discussion, not only purely science, in order to come to the conclusion that I've come to, that God does not exist, right? So I'm going to be discussing that in this video today. For those of you who like the contents of my videos, please don't forget to press like and subscribe. This will greatly help my channel to be able to reach out to more people. And you're not only going to be helping me or my channel, a very big thank you from both me, my channel, and all the people that you're going to be helping. Thank you. For those of you who don't know me, I am Osman. I'm a bioenergy healer on a master level with telepathic healing capabilities, specializing in critical care recovery and terminal illnesses, amongst a host of other physiological, psychological, and even spiritual ailments. If you have any concerns, physiologically, medically, psychologically, or spiritual problem, uh, feel free to connect with me for a free consultation on energy healing. Visit my website, yogawellness786.com, for more information about my services and contact information. I also have a special promotion, a 10-minute anxiety fix for just $5, less than the price of a Starbucks coffee, delivered to you telepathically anywhere globally, instantly, right? And connect with me again from my website, yogawellness786.com. So I'm also advanced level yoga and meditation teacher, having been practicing this art form for almost 50 years, teaching it now for 46 years. In that time period, I had the privilege to study under some amazing great masters from different schools of thought, from different cultures across the globe, from the Far East, the Middle East, the West, including the scientific communities. I basically gathered all that information, knowledge, and they say, an ounce of practice is worth tons of theory. I put practical, simplified methods that are results oriented, basically adapted new protocols adapted for the 21st century. To that end, I now have students in over 100 countries, and my favorite simplified protocol is my 5-minute yoga and meditation program, which you can download for free by visiting my website, yogawellness786.com. And remember that all my therapies are all natural based and not a replacement for medical treatment. So, final proof or overwhelming proof that God does not exist. So let's look at the from a scientific perspective. Yes, I mean, it's easy. Science need empirical evidence on the evidence of God. No one could bring any irrefutable. They can only bring anecdotal, or hearsay information or indicators that God exists. But so bring up the guy, right? Or the gal, right? Bring him up. No one brought him up, right? So that's the problem. So we don't have to worry about the science side proving that God does not exist. But from the spiritual side, how? So let's start with Christianity, right? Christianity affirms that God, in fact, exists, that He exists as a Trinity, He exists, as the Father and the Holy Spirit and the Son, right? He was born on earth as the Son, and is the only begotten Son, that He is part of this Trinity, the spirituality concept of God is in. So, okay, we agree. Christianity says there is a God. Does this mean overwhelming? How is it overwhelming evidence? Oh, let's wait. It's not the only religion, right? Christianity. Given 2 billion, right? So, what are the other major religions? Let's look at Islam. Islam is 1.7 billion. They say God, is inconceivable. He cannot be born, nor does he give cause to be birth. You cannot imagine him, is inconceivable. He cannot exist, is not existence, He never came into existence. He's also not non-existence. What does that mean? You're not existence or non-existence. Does it exist? Exist means you're born, you were created, you are somewhere. You can bring forth. This is means of existence. If you exist, give me proof, right? There's no, it does no existence, no non-existence. Beyond, it's inconceivable. They're not beyond existence. It's inconceivable, right? Cannot conceive. So doesn't exist, right? Because we know what, because we are thinking from a rational perspective, right? And we are thinking from our brain and our mind, right? And our brain, our mind, it's not, does not fall within that. God is not within the ambit of our brain or mind. And our entire existence and world is within the ambit of our brain and mind. That's how we conceive existence. We exist within that, right? Our consciousness is within that framework of our brain and our mind, right? Our emotions and our intellect. So it doesn't exist there in Islam, right? So that is confirmed. Kullu Allahu ahad, right? La ilaha illallah. There is no God. La ilaha. There is no God but Allah, right? They just call him Allah, the one that does not, that is the one that is inconceivable. Because the fourth line says, وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ, is inconceivable, right? Give every description, La ilaha illallah, or is only one, walam yulid, walam yulad, right? Allahus Samad. Everything is dependent on this because everything is moving, right? Everything working with clockwork, dependent on something that's inconceivable. So it is from, we are thinking from a objective perspective. Don't get emotional, right? Objectively means does not exist. Okay, from the English language and from science and from philosophy and from logic, this means does not exist. Okay, let's go to diabolical, controversial, right? Let's go to the next one, right? Next big major religion, Hinduism, right? Hinduism, the ultimate is non-duality. They say Vedanta, the conclusion of Vedanta is Advaita. Advaita is where you lose your mind, you lose your intellect, you merge into that which is beyond existence and beyond non-existence. Neither is it formal, neither is it form, nor is it formless. Is beyond form and formless is the conclusion of Advaita, which is the conclusion of Vedanta, or it's a field of study, right? In Hinduism, the major field of study, and non-dualism as being not even non-existence, beyond non-existence, right? It cannot be described, so it does not exist according to Hinduism. So okay, argumentative, but from a logical perspective, you see, beyond form, beyond formless, not existing, and non-existence, as a beyond existence and beyond non-existence. Beyond that, what is that logically, right? Looks like a spoon, feels like a spoon, must be a spoon, right? So, okay, let's go to the third argument, right? Buddhism, the most appealing and widely growing um, thought, because they don't consider themselves a religion, because they say the Buddha said he has not experienced or saw, he's been through high levels, whatever level, never saw a God entity. There was no God entity that he could see or identify, right? So when they asked, is there a God? He said he never seen that, right? Means, doesn't mean there's no God. You never experience, it's beyond the existence or non-existence. It's confirming that. But the conclusion, what they, logically, everyone concludes that it means Buddhism says there's no God. They don't worship any God, right? There is no God because that's the ultimate. So everyone, everywhere, they're worshipping because they need to. The human needs to worship. But when you come to the highest level, what are you worshipping? Something that it does not exist. or someone that doesn't beyond existence or non-existence, right? So we worship. I myself am Muslim. Worshipping the one that does not exist is inconceivable, right? So this three religion, major religion, uh, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, they're all logically. Let's talk logic objectively. Is three out of the four big ones, right? Saying Christianity is the only one. No, no, God exists. He walked on earth. Jesus is God, right? Three against. So democracy, three against one. Over 75% majority, right? We never bring the atheists into the picture, right? To tip it even more, right? We'll say 5% of the population is atheist, right? So that may 80%. Isn't that overwhelming evidence that God does not exist? Makes you think, doesn't it? Think a bit deeper. Don't be emotional. Don't be subjective, right? Be objective. Be logical. Think logically, right? What does it mean? Okay. Hope that helps you. And if you have any concerns medically or psychological stress problems or even some spiritual problems, feel free to contact me for a free consultation for energy healing and see if I can help you or how I can help you. And visit my website, yogawellness786.com, for contact information and more information about my services. And take care of yourself always.